Ever since I started this channel, I've been getting comments and requests for me to share my stories and manifestations, to share what I manifested in my life, what law of attraction techniques I applied, and what were the results. And it took me a while for me to upload a video on this specific topic because I had to figure out how I was going to tell my story, what were the things that I manifested, how can I tell the story, and I just wanted to be able to finally upload videos on specific things that I have manifested in my life, specific law of attraction techniques that I applied, the chain of events that led me there. And that's why it took me so long for me to gather all my thoughts and what stories I want to share with people, because Steve Jobs has a very famous quote. I'm going to paraphrase it. He said that you cannot connect the dots moving forward. You can only connect the dots when you look back. So once you manifest something in your life, that's when you can look at the chain of events that led you to your manifested desires, the coincidences, the synchronicity, all the people that you ran into, whatever it was that led you to your manifested desires. That's when you can look back. But if it hasn't manifested yet, you can't possibly figure out all the different things that are going to lead you to your manifested desires. There's no way. That's not possible. Only once it's already manifested. That's why Steve Jobs said that you can connect the dots only when you look back. So I had to connect the dots. I had to figure out what were the chain of events and what were the law of attraction techniques I applied. And a lot of these things I applied, a lot of the things that I manifested were several years ago, so I had to recall them in my memory. So now I'm ready to share my stories. I'm going to do a series of videos, and I'm going to create a playlist specifically on my stories and manifestations. So if I get any future comments, maybe hopefully those people can find the playlist in case they want to know what law of attraction techniques I have applied and what were the results. I manifested a better job, a better paying job. This happened, gosh, how long ago was this? 2013? Yeah, okay, so it was about 4 years ago. And around that time, I was really into learning about the Hermetic Principles, the principle of mentalism, the principle of correspondence, the principle of rhythm, the principle of polarity. Once I really started to understand all those different principles, I was able to come up with a specific affirmation or a phrase to help me align my vibrational frequency to find a better job. And so I came up with this affirmation where I said, the universal mind and I are unified, because that's something I learned from the Hermetic Principles, the universal mind and how we are one and the same. And so I realized that that sort of rhymes, the universal mind and I are unified. And then I finished off the sentence with, a better job is as good as mine in this universal mind. For me, those words altogether help me align my vibrational frequency. It really helped me align with a better job. For me, that worked. And in that time of my life, I was employed somewhere that didn't pay that much money. I was miserable. I didn't like the work, and my boss was very unpleasant. Let's just leave it like that. And I needed a better job quick. I needed a better working environment that wasn't so toxic, and I needed a job that paid a lot more money than what I was getting paid. And some drama started to happen where it was crunch time. I needed a better job like yesterday. I mean, I can't wait any longer. So there was a lot of anxiety there. But what made me feel better, it was saying the universal mind and I unified. A better job is already as good as mine in this universal mind. And it rhymes and it sounds pleasant to me. So it really helped me align my vibrational frequency. So within about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I ended up finding a better job. And the chain of events there were that I was so distraught with the current job that I had that I started just doing whatever I knew I could do. I submitted my resume. I looked for other places of employment nearby where I can apply, and I just left it at that. And then I got a phone call, and a friend of mine that I used to work with was working at this certain place, and she was already one of the managers, so I already had this kind of sort of connection, and she already knew how much of a good, it's in sales, so she knows that I do well in sales, and she knows that I have good work ethic, so she helped me get this job, and it was a better paying job. It gave me full-time hours, and eventually this job I got promoted into where I was making commission, and I was making more money than I did previously with the previous job. And it all happened very rapidly for me, where people were telling me like, wow, I can't believe you did that, like that was really quick. And they were just amazed at the results, and so was I. I was very excited that it all happened. And I remember that my friend told me that when another manager was reviewing different resumes on his computer, she happened to walk by at the same time that he happened to pull up my resume, and it had my names in bold, and it caught her eye, and she goes, hey, I know that guy. So you can't possibly figure out that one person was going to be at that one place at that one time when that other person was looking at a specific thing. There's so many things that happened that led me to a better job. There's so many little things, little perfect timing, coincidences, synchronicity. All this stuff happened where I was able to get out of a bad work environment and into a better one where I was getting paid more money. Think of something you manifested, backtrack the sequence of events, and it can really help you gain more belief and faith in the law of attraction.